Hello and happy Saturday. Welcome to my final virtual Qigong class for this series. We will be practicing completing the Ba Duan Jin series, which is the 8 pieces of Brocade. Welcome for those that are joining. Now, this set has a history that spans over 1,000 years in Chinese medicine. That this particular series is really designed to stimulate qi in the body, which supports the immune system, which is exercise for the inner organs. And so that being said, if you're new to Qigong, or if you haven't been exercising as much lately, I really invite you to listen to your body, because even though they're very slow, deliberate movements, we're creating a lot of energy flow that's moving through blocks, and that sometimes that can bring awareness of places we've been holding tension or pain. Sometimes we can have a light emotional release, or just a little bit of a detox. So I invite you to do a few repetitions. You can sit in a chair at any time, and if you do so, especially since we're a Reiki group, you're welcome to give yourself Reiki at that time, to breathe into the body, to tune into your awareness, and then you can return to the movements. So if after you practice, if you're feeling a lot of soreness, or just monitor how you're doing, and the next time as you continue to practice, you'll be able to add more repetitions and have more awareness. It really does improve the awareness of the body as we practice. So getting started, we're going to move into our Wuji stance. So if you're new to our class, I'm going to walk you through the alignment. We're going to be shoulder width apart as we're standing up straight. Knees and toes are pointed forward. And we're going to feel the bottoms of our feet on the earth. Make sure we're balanced. So if you want to rock back and forth, side to side, and find your stability so we're evenly rooted into the earth. And then we're not going to lock out our knees, but we're going to stand up straight. We're going to lift through the crown of the head. So imagining we had this imaginary cord lifting. As we're lifting, we're bringing the chin back slightly. We're tucking the head slightly. And then we're going to bring our shoulders up and roll them back and down. So as we're lifting through the top of the head, we're sinking our shoulders into the ribs and then sinking our body down. So while we're lifting, I want you to imagine we also have an anchor in the tailbone. So we're kind of stretching in 2 directions, lifting, elongating the spine, and then also sinking in towards the earth. Good. So you can see the side view that I have a good alignment here with my central channel. And then we're going to loosen our arms, let them flow at our sides, allowing a little space as if we had quail eggs. I like to say ping pong balls under the armpits. Good. And as we're sinking down, it's normal for our knees to come out a little bit. We're kind of screwing them over the balls of our feet. We're just watching, making sure knees and toes are pointing in the same direction. And then bring your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Soft gaze looking directly forward. And we'll start to breathe, bringing awareness to our breath. As we inhale, you can draw energy up to the earth, into your heart, and then exhale through the top of the head. And then inhale through the top of the head, down into your belly, and pausing, and then exhaling into the earth. Allowing energy to flow naturally up and down our central channel, knowing that we'll feel more of this moving through our movements, that Qigong is a moving meditation. But already we're inviting flow and remembering the 3 harms. So 3 things we want to avoid in a Qigong practice. No forced breath. So sometimes in other practices, we're doing deep central channel breathing. In this practice, moving with the flow of our breath, nice and even. They can be big breaths, but we're not forcing them. No extreme muscular movement. So it's not about force or strength. It's going to be about extending and reaching and elongating, feeling the energy extend outwards. Good. And then the third one is that we're not going to puff out our chest and pull our belly button in. We're going to have a nice, even posture. So even when we're opening our chest, we're expanding out, but we're not coming forward. We're not changing the alignment within our spine. So all of our movements will be keeping these points in our central channel even and straight. Okay, good. Now, any point in time, you're welcome to move to a chair. We will be in a Wuji stance quite a bit through our practice. But first, we're going to settle into our body and our intentions. So if you'd like to put one hand on Dantian, which is just a couple fingers below your belly button, and then bring a hand to your heart. I invite you to close your eyes and breathe in to your body, inviting flow through your source circuit, pure, loving, divine source energy flowing through your body that we are inviting into our practice today. Guidance and flow, that all that we call in, fresh energy and possibility, vitality, can support our well-being, our longevity, can support our organs of our body, our presence and alignment, our balance, can support our clarity and awareness, in this loving connection that we have with our bodies, with our higher selves, our higher guidance, and with those around us, providing this opportunity to connect and to enjoy being in our bodies, enjoying the energy that moves through us, that we can release stagnant chi, densities, hindering emotions, and we can call in more of our intentions. And so inviting your own intentions in to flow down the crown of your head, from your mind's eye into your heart, to circulate through your body. Maybe through your belonging circuit, if you're wanting to feel greater resonance to these intentions, or through your creation circuit, if you are moving into creation, moving it outwards. And then we're going to take these intentions and move them out the front of our heart so that they can amplify with those that we are in practice with in this now moment or at any future time. Knowing that these intentions flow through the filter of our higher self and our heart, our soul, purpose, so that all that we flow through our practice is aligned to our greatest good, aligned to the greatest good of all for our highest evolutionary path. And our ascension in consciousness, our evolution towards greater, pure, true expression of this divinity within us, and unity within our sovereignty in a safe, trusting, and loving way, the pure, unified love. So as we breathe in these intentions, we breathe in the gratitude for the opportunity to flow energy to this purpose. I'm just inviting you to notice anything you're already feeling flowing through your body, any emotions, and that we're welcoming all of it. The invitation to be open and flowing and okay with whatever arises, and trusting it's moving towards our greater good. And so whenever you're ready, you can release your hands and open your eyes. Good. And shake it out, your stance. And we're going to warm up today with something different we've done in the other classes, that we're going to add a slapping exercise. And this, no matter what state we're in, will stimulate chi. That this is designed to break up stagnant chi in a manual way, so that throughout our practice, it can make our practice more gentle, more impactful, more beneficial, and our integration of it as well. What I love is you can do this at any point in time, whatever state you're in, and you're going to be stimulating what we call the protected chi. So not only is this going to call your consciousness, call you into your body to be present in your body, it's also stimulating the chi designed for our immune system that helps external resiliency and this strength and protection. So if you tend to fall or tend to disembody, that this can really help. So we're going to start with our dantian right below our belly button and gentle slaps. I like to just kind of flow. And then it's kind of like you're bringing your dantian towards your palms. We don't want it to hurt. We're just bringing some gentle stimulation to this area. Just patting and slapping, good, with cupped hands. And then we're going to bring it up to our chest, right here. And it doesn't have to be very hard. This is similar to EFT, to tapping, but you can just keep it right here if that feels good, tapping on that same spot on our chest. Good. Now with the cupped hand, we're going to have our hands up. we are going to pat down our yin channel. So spending a little time on the elbows, cupped hand, we're just patting all the way down the arm, giving ourselves a good clap. And then turn your hand over and we're patting up our yang channel. Good, feeling the stimulation in the chi. We're gonna pat back down. Palm up. Come back up the yin channel. Nice little pat on the back. You can all use that, right? And then back in the chest. And then we're gonna pat down the other side. So cupped hand. Coming down our arm. Pausing down the elbow, down our forearm. Nice hand clap, coming around our yang channel. But all the way up to our traps, back down. Coming back up our yin channel into our chest. And then we're gonna come around to our rib cage. So gentle pats down our rib cage, back to our dantian. And then we're gonna come around to the back to our kidneys. Gentle pat on our kidneys. Stimulating the chi, purifying the chi, and we're going to come back around. So we're working with our midsection, bringing awareness, flow, stimulation, psoas. Just going back and forth a few times. Going as gentle as you need to. If you want to stimulate that a little bit more, you're welcome to do so. And then we come around the back. We're going to come down the glutes, down the hamstrings. And if you need to sit in a chair, or if you are sitting in a chair, you can do this. We're patting all the way down the legs, coming back up the front. And when we come back up the legs, we're gonna do something kind of fun. We're gonna just kind of grab back and forth the kneecap and the quads. So we're just kind of like one of those pincher machines. I forget what they're called, claws, the claws, back and forth. Good, climb. And then we'll come back up. Coming around the midsection again, one more time. And then the sides of the legs. Getting out our wings, on the sides of the legs. Make sure our knees are stable. We don't want to pushing our knees inward, keeping them nice and stable. See, I'm still keeping my back flat if I'm coming all the way down. Come down as far as feels good to you. The insides of the legs. Right up to the groin area, right back to the dantian. And here and now, we're patting like it's sand. Just imagine you're patting down sand, packing it in. Good, into our dantian. And then we're gonna rub. So rubbing in a circle, one direction. Our power center for our chi. Here, good. And then we can circle it the other way. And as many rotations as feels good to you. All right, and then when we're done, go ahead and release. I like to just float the arms back down. Coming back into our Wuji stance and just pause to notice. Notice any changes if you feel more clear, more present, if you can already feel energy moving through you. Better than a cup of coffee, right? Or a Celsius. And if you know me well, you know that's saying a lot. So. Okay, our Ba Duan Jin set, we are going to start with pressing two hands to heaven. So right here in our lower ball is what we call this, like we're holding a nice chi ball. So we're gathering up chi, we're gonna draw it upwards, up through the body. Good, nice and slow. And then once we get to the chin area, we're gonna rotate our palms forward and then up. It's almost as if they're pushing the chin up, even though they're not making contact. And then we're rising all the way up above us. So once you get up to the top, we're going to release the hands down slowly. You might notice the slower you go, the thicker the chi starts to feel. And the more those internal organs, our energy meridians are stimulated, are coming back up, inhaling from the earth. So inhale, rotating the palms. Good, all the way up and then exhaling down. Now, if you're new to this, first we're focusing on the movements with nice, even breaths. And if you've done this a few times already, then you can Maybe move a little quicker and move with your breath, where we'll inhale up and then exhale down. And as we rise, you might notice there's almost this sinking. I'm bending my knees just a little bit as I'm sinking down to gather the chi, and then drawing up, we straighten without locking out the knees. Good, drawing up and then lengthening the spine and the body, and then follow with your gaze. We're going to watch up, our hands pressing to heaven, and then flow all the way down, getting a full range of motion if that feels good. And maybe this is enough for today, and then you can sit, tune into your heart. Maybe do a body scan, allow the chi to integrate, or if you're still feeling good and you have the energy for it, it's flowing, you can continue to flow. I usually do about 8 repetitions in my practice. You're welcome to do more, that eventually you'll listen to your body and you'll know how many or how little is really providing the effect, that this is stimulating the spine, our central channel. Whole body as we're lengthening. We'll go ahead and do one more. Inhaling up, following your gaze. Lift, lengthen, and then exhale back down. Go ahead and let the arms float down back to our Wuji stance, and then drawing the bow to shoot the hawk. So we'll start with the legs first, because this one's a little more involved. This out of the way. You are still welcome to use a chair. So while we're in our Wuji stance, I'm going to lean to one leg. So if you're mirroring me, I'm leaning to the left. I'm going to draw the right leg in. I'm on my toes and just coming to the ankle, and then going to step back out to a wider stance, almost a plie stance, and then come down. And you don't have to bend very far. We're just bending the knees and then leaning now to the right, drawing our leg in to the ankle, and then stepping back out and sinking down. Now arms are going to sweep up. So now we're posting on the opposite side, drawing that leg in, and you can either rest it here on the ankle and do it a small step, sink down, lean to one side, draw it in, or you can make it bigger by lifting the leg, stepping out, and then sinking down. Good, and then leaning to one side, sweeping that leg up, stepping out, and sinking. So now adding the arms, we lean. Arms are going to sweep up, and the same arm is the same leg that's sweeping in is going to come to the front of the other arm. And then we'll step out and then release as we sink down. So then as I lean to the left, draw the right leg in, right arm comes out, the outside, and step out. Now adding our bow, pose to the right, sweep up, left arm's on the outside. Now this outside arm is going to rotate around with 2 fingers pressing out. This inside arm is going to pull back with 2 fingers like a bow and pull back. So we're stretching, we're opening the chest, squeezing those shoulder blades and lengthening. So as we step out, we sink into our bow, taking your gaze to your fingers in front of you, and then we'll release. We're going to lean to the side where we shot the arrow, draw the opposite leg in, outside arm comes out, and as we step out, we sink into the bow. Now you're welcome to just stay with the legs or the simplified arms until you have it down, or if you're ready, good, we're sinking while we're pulling out. And it's not about stretching, the arms as much as it's stretching this energy, right? The string as it's coming back, that's what we're feeling. Now to make these movements a little bit smaller would be here, step out right here. Doesn't have to be a very big movement. Inhaling in when you're ready to add the breath, exhaling as we shoot the arrow. Inhale in. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, you can come back to Wuji stance. You're welcome to do a few more if you like. If we're in a chair, good. Pulling the arrow, dropping the arms, pulling the arrow to the other side where we'll be focusing on our upper body. In this side view, so the elbows are straight across. All right, when you're ready, we'll come back to our Wuji stance. Now separating heaven and earth. So we're here at our lower ball. We're gonna have one palm facing down, one palm facing up. So these hands are gonna cross. So with one palm down, one palm up, can be either side. Imagine that we have a ball here and we're just gonna switch places. So we have this energy ball here. Now it's like I'm rotating in the front. Okay, it's creating this energy ball. Now there's this stretching of an energy in between this ball. So as these palms cross each other, we're bringing the energy together. One hand is going to be pressing down towards the earth gently, while the opposite arm, I want you to imagine there's a teacup in your hand. So we don't want to spill it. So we're going to rotate it out and then lift it up. As we're holding it up, we're pressing up to the heaven as we're extending down to the earth. We want the same amount of force of pressing and also pushing up. Good. And then we'll bring this top arm down and we're going to dump the tea into the bottom hand. Spill the tea. Okay, but don't do that. All right, just literally. Okay. So now pressing the hand down, we're going to rotate the hand, upper hand, press up, and our gaze is following our teacup up. Good, so this isn't as much about stretching as it is lengthening from our internal chest, our heart. So this is stimulating our movement of chi in this connection we have between the earth and between heaven, the heavens. Source. So this is our yin, which is stabilizing. This is our yang, which is extending and sending energy out. So if you like to think of it in those terms, otherwise we're just focusing on movement. You see there's a slight rotation of the torso as we come back in, transferring the energy. You want to add the breath. We're inhaling to center our yin, exhaling as we extend. And we'll do just a couple more. And if you're sitting in a chair, you just have your hand high enough so it's not resting on your lap. We're rotating, we're getting a slight rotation of the torso. So we're gazing back as we look up. As we circle around our head, push to the earth. Okay, go ahead and come back to center. Now coming into our fourth movement, we're back in Wuji. Wise owl gazes backwards. We're going to rest our palms on a table. So palms are down, shoulders are down, comfortable Wuji stance, elbows are out. Now we're going to rotate our hands out as we bring our thumbs around. So we're rotating our thumbs, opening up our palms, and then taking our gaze to one side. Good. Coming back to center, we're rotating back in, resting on our energy table, and then to the other side. And as we do this, we're taking our gaze back as far as we can, and we're lengthening the neck without straining it. So we're just going to the edge of comfort in our rotation or twist. It's more of the eyes, and then taking the eyes further. This is great for the channels that connect from our eyes. Good. Down to the shoulders and to the torso. So this can help relieve eye strain, headaches, neck pain. And remember, no extreme muscle movements. So we're just letting it flow in a way that provides just enough of the internal stretch. Exhaling. Inhaling as we're expanding. And then exhaling as we bring it back to center to reset. Side view. So my elbows are still staying in line with my body. And my gaze is coming back. Now you're welcome to do a few more. Or if you're resting, running Reiki, allowing it to integrate for the chair, we're still rotating our torso and our eyes back with our feet firmly planted on the floor. You're ready, we'll come back to our Wuji stance. Checking back in. This one is a little more physically active, so really watch your lower back, your hips, your knees. We're not going to let our knees come over the toes. This is also wonderful for low back pain. So if you're able to practice this one, maybe it's just going to be a few, maybe it will be a small range of motion, but I would encourage you, if that is an issue that you have, that this can be a great way to stimulate qi in the area to release chronic pain. So we're going to bring our hands just to this line right here, right around our hips. It's diagonal line. So there's kind of a crevice right there. We're going to rest our hands. That way our shoulders are down, our elbows are comfortable. We're going to go a little bit wider than our Wuji stance. So what we call horse stance. Now this one's fun. This is dragon shakes his head and tail to dispel heart fire. What? Yeah, I knew you'd love it. So we're going to rotate our belly button to one side. So we're rotating our body, in this case, towards the right. And then keeping our back flat, we're going to start to hinge from the hips. So my knees are still behind my toes. My back is flat and straight. And we're going to look at our ankle. And then once we are looking at our ankle, we're going to rotate around the circle. This is so good to get this rotational movement. And then look at our opposite ankle. And then we're going to bring our gaze all the way up around, like we're tracing a big circle. We're going to gaze up when we're back in center and then sink back down and look straight ahead. Good. So now we'll go the other direction. So now I'm rotating towards the right, hinging down. And this can be a small hinge, really working with your range of motion. Our gaze straight ahead as we're rotating around, looking at our opposite ankle. And then we're tracing that line with our eyes all the way up to center and then sinking back down. If you want to take this deeper, you can widen your stance. If you have the range of motion, we're rotating our hips so our belly button is facing our knee and then hinging forward, not letting the chest come forward, right? We've got a straight back, hinging forward, ankle, then rotating around to the front, shaking our head and tail, coming all the way up around, and then sink. Each time, switching sides. If you want to add the breath, we're inhaling as we hinge down, exhaling around. Inhaling as we rise back up, and then exhaling again as we sink in. So rotate, inhale, sweep around, exhale. Inhale, back up, lifting, lengthening the spine, and then exhaling back in. If you're sitting in a chair, we're still rotating our hips, looking at our ankle in front of us. So say I'm sitting in a wider stance, rotating around, looking at my opposite ankle. Looking up and I'm lifting through the chest and then sinking down, just letting it drop. So even if it's a smaller range of motion, there's still a lot of benefit here. The longer the lever, the more energy, the more it's engaging these muscles. So it can be a very small rotation. And as long as we're coming all the way around, you're going to feel the benefits. So you're welcome to do one more on each side or pause anytime that you need to. Breathe into the heart, check in with your body. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to our Wuji stance. And now touching the feet to strengthen the kidneys. Okay, So we are going to bring our arms up, very similar to pressing hands to heaven, our very first move. So we're rising up, so our hands are coming up above us, and then we're going to sweep them down. And as we sweep them down, we're going to come about to the chest. It's almost like our hands are diving down, they're cupped. And they're going to come around, tracing around the chest. Now we're making contact with this just below our armpits, our rib cage, and we're tracing our rib cage down. Now palms are in, touching our kidneys. We're engaging with our kidneys, and then we're going to sweep them down. I'm going to show you the side view here because I want my knees and toes lined up. We're hinging at the hips. As we come down, I'm hinging forward. I'm not letting those knees move out in front of me, not letting the chest come out, and we're sweeping around and coming back up. And as we come back up, we dive those hands forward. Now I'll step back so you can see the full range of motion. Tracing our kidneys, our back. Now, if you have the flexibility and you don't lose your form, you can come all the way down to the feet. And then we're sweeping up like in chair pose in yoga, all the way up. Or you come down to wherever you have the range of motion where you can keep form. And if you want to add the breath, depending on the pace you're taking, we would exhale down and inhale up. Drawing chi in through the crown of our head into the heart, moving it down, purifying the kidneys, and then drawing it all the way back down into the earth. So we can see how this correlates with the movement of energy through our body, of chi. So if I'm in a chair, I'm going to sit at the edge of my chair, feet are forward, arms are sweeping up, we dive down, making contact. We're still coming to the kidneys, and then we're just coming around the hips, coming down, and maybe just in front of the knees. But we keep it right here, or if you have the range of motion in the chair, come down further. And as you continue to practice this will help your flexibility, your posture, and you can increase your range of motion in it. Maybe do one or two more if that feels good to you. Exhaling as we dive down, really making contact with our body. The touch is important in this movement. And when that's complete, we'll come back to our Wuji stance. We have two more. I love this one, punching forward with angry eyes. Right? Now this is a martial arts, so there you go. Okay, so we are going to have our hands palms up, and then we're going to make a gentle fist. So not a full fist, just a gentle fist right here, and we're resting them right at our sides. So if we were in fighting stance, right, for punching, right here. Now we're not really going to get angry, but we're going to make the eyes you make when you're angry. You're going to think of like cat eyes. Okay, so we're still loving, and still be loving and kind, but we're going to have this intense focused look as one hand is going to come out. In this case, the right hand, we're making a fist. And then once we're extended and we're not leaning forward, we're keeping our position. So my shoulders back, then I'm going to open up my hand and start to rotate. So we're twisting our thumb down and around. As far as that twist can go through the arm, it's stimulating this meridian channel. And then we're going to rotate back around, just like you're pulling in a rope. We're going to pull chi back into the body. No extreme force. We're going to allow it. And then once this fist is returned, the opposite fist is going to rotate fully forward and then open up, twist, and then rotate back, pull the chi in. Good. And then this part with the eyes is really helpful for the eyes, for the liver, our immune system. We're gazing intently, cat eyes just above our palm, then pulling it back in. Now, different from some of our other movements, we're not crossing one hand over the other. We're waiting till it completes its movement before we start the next. So side view. Inhaling into center. Exhaling as we extend out. Long, slow, even breaths. And think about it, drawing energy into our field and then extending energy out. And do one more on each side. If you're in a chair, it's going to be exactly the same. We're standing up straight and tall. Enjoying this wrist rotation. And in Chinese medicine and acupuncture, they believe every part of the body, all the nerves, everything starts and ends in the feet and in the hands. And so how important it is to stimulate qi in these parts of the body. So fully opening your fingers. This is great if you're a practitioner that uses your hands and feet. And in Reiki, I've really noticed tangible difference with the energy that I'm flowing from these movements. Okay, now our final one, bouncing on the toes. It's going to stimulate the whole spine. It's going to get all the qi into our body from our practice. So back in our Wuji stance, we're going to come up on our heel. So onto the ball, lift our heels onto the balls of our feet and then drop and bounce. So we're lifting and then dropping. Now we don't want to shake ourselves up too much, but we want to feel the reverberation, the vibrations in the body. Imagine it like you're shifting sand and you're shaking it down to the bottom, bringing our qi, grounding everything into our body, into the earth. So rise and fall and kind of find your balance and the impact that is beneficial. Shaking it up. And then with our breath, it would be inhale, exhale, so we drop. If you're in a chair, just smaller movements, being mindful of the knees. But same thing, rising the body and then dropping. So maybe about 8 times when I get the full set. Okay. Now when we finish up our set here, we're going to close out. But first pausing, just to check back in, notice what you notice. Notice if you feel different temperatures, if you feel cool energy in places or warm energy, that it's perfectly normal if you do feel an area of where there's more tension, to know that awareness is coming to the surface so it can move out. Just take note of it. And know that with practice, these movements will become easier. And we'll notice as we continue to practice, you'll go through phases where at first, okay, I don't feel anything yet. And then, wow, you're feeling the energy moving, you feel refreshed. It makes such a difference. And then as we start to acclimate, it's similar to in Reiki when it feels so profound in the beginning. And then we get to a point where we think, am I still running it? Because we've equalized, right? We've acclimated to the energy. And so that's the point in your practice when you want to keep going, because then we level up. Then we can go even deeper with it. But as we are clearing out the toxins and the tension and improving the efficiency of energy flowing through our meridians, then we're going to be balanced. We're going to notice it. And then it comes into maintenance. And then we get to see an enhancement, that this is a deep spiritual practice, that for those that have continued to practice, they call it the 100-day gong. And I highly recommend it. I've been doing it, and now I won't go a day without Qigong ever. Wherever I'm at, I'll modify it because I see such a difference, and it's really supporting a quick shift in my emotional state, awareness, embodiment, and I'm just better prepared for the day. So we come into our Wuji stance. We're going to close out by drawing energy up. Good, and then we're going to allow it to integrate by bringing it in through the crown of the head. You might just notice it, perceive it moving through your source circuit, moving through all the channels of the body, integrating through the cells, pushing out any remaining stagnant qi down to the body, through the bottoms of feet, into the earth, and nourish the earth. And then we're drawing energy up from the earth. Big inhale. Exhaling it down. balance in body, because sometimes it's important to close out, because as we're running all this chi and sending the chi around and feeling it, we want to integrate it into our body. We want to process it, metabolize it, harmonize it into our field, into our torus field. So just notice, or maybe you can feel, just like we talk about in class and bioenergetics, this torus field that circulates through our central channel of the earth. But here we are facilitating the balance of this flow. So we draw it back down. And then ending in our dantian, we can do a few more circles. Breathing in, allowing all of this energy, this chi, to metabolize in beneficial ways with our pure, loving Reiki energy. You can call in whatever keys, in whatever lineages you feel called to. Maybe bringing a hand to the heart. And we'll close our eyes and invite this Reiki to circulate through the body, and inviting you to witness and notice that without needing to know or needing to force it, just to allow and just to notice how it expresses through your body. And we'll take a moment of silence to integrate any messages that are here for you, observing any shifts, spaciousness or presence. Reconnecting to our intentions for our practice, so they might continue to flow through our day and onward. And allowing a flow of gratitude that we have been given by these ancient cultures that have spent thousands of years cultivating these practices, that we can benefit from them today. With deep gratitude for being able to practice together, and for the awareness that we are sovereign beings and that we can decide how we participate. We can discern how we engage with energy. And as we prioritize our own energy hygiene and our own emotional resilience and awareness, that we create a safe and loving space for others to do the same. And that is truly how we heal the world, change it. And I'm so grateful to be able to share this with you, and so grateful for what it is doing for my body and for my guidance that has directed me to this practice, and you as well. You're welcome to stay in this as long as it feels beneficial to do so. Release your hands when you're ready. But this is a great time to meditate, great time to run cue for your intentions, to plan your day, to invite, as we're grounded into any awarenesses of the next step, next action towards the goals that you have set, or to sit and enjoy the stillness that's within you. And so when this video closes, I invite you to do so. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and that way anyone that is here, we can chat. Thank you so much, and have a great day.